weight for a 3-year-old child is around 35 pounds, correct? So he was like 3 or 4 times what was normal weight.
My name's Amanda. I have one son. I was 15 when I had him. He is a great baby. Around 4 months, we noticed that he started to gain a lot of weight. It was uncontrollable. It's like 5 pounds a week. He just kept gaining and gaining. At about 3 years old, he went to the hospital because of a bad cold. He was 120 pounds. The lady from the health department ended up coming to my house after Jared got out of the hospital, and she had called protective services on me, I guess. He was really overweight, and I guess they just felt that I didn't understand how serious it was. We ended up going to the courthouse. The lady from protective services told me that just to let her take him. I mean, it was devastating. I've been through nights of just crying myself to sleep because, thinking of what could happen and, what he's doing, where he's at. I mean, the foster parents so far, as much as I know, are good people, I see him every Tuesday for 2.5 hours. And every other Wednesday, our visits go pretty good. There's things that I've learned since he's been in foster care that I didn't know. I think I should have him back and be able to have another chance. Everybody learns from their mistakes. Now I know how to do the diet. I mean, it's overeating, It's not like a drug. It's not really an addictive thing. I want my son back. I did everything the court has asked me to do. Dr. Phil, is there anything else, that I can do to get him back? To show these people that I really want him back and that, I've tried and, I really care.
Amanda is now 8 months pregnant and fears the possibility of losing her unborn child as well. Now, we contacted Child Protective Services, but they declined to comment on Amanda's case at this time. What makes you think that they would try and take this child away as well?
Because they don't really think I noticed that it was overfeeding, and, at first they kept saying that I didn't notice that he was overweight. That was kind of obvious,
What is your position on why Jarrett was so overweight?
I was overfeeding him. He wasn't getting...
Why were you doing it?
I would fix him one meal, like a breakfast. He would take a few bites, and about an hour later, he'd be asking for something else, and I'd figure that he was hungry because he didn't eat that much of his meal. So I would feed him again. He wasn't getting enough exercise.
Okay, but now, at 3 years old, he was 120, correct?
Right.
All right, and average weight for a 3-year-old child is around 35 pounds, correct? So he was like 3 or 4 times what was normal weight. What happened in your mind that made this okay? Because we're not talking about just a big baby, we're talking about 3 or 4 times normal.
Right. Ever since he was 4 months old, when he was still on formula, he was starting to gain weight like this. And we figured that it was a medical problem, so I was taking him to the University of Michigan hospital, trying to see what was wrong. We've spent nights there and everything.
And you said you thought it was the asthma medicine.
Yeah, he was taking breathing treatments,
and
which...
it was steroid?
Yeah.
And you thought this was making him get so big?
Because I was thinking there's no way I'm feeding him so much to where, he's getting this big.
Well, what do you think now?
It was overfeeding, and I still think there's a possibility that the breathing treatments could have had something to do with it.
And since he's been in foster care, he has lost weight, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what's he down to now?
He's down to 50 pounds now.
Okay, so, and we can see him on the monitor.